I'm not much of a writer, but something happened recently that I can't shake off. I figured writing it down might help me make sense of it, or at least, get it off my chest. I volunteer at this old prison turned into a museum. It's a creepy place, sure, but fascinating. You wouldn't believe the stories those walls could tell. There was this girl, Sarah, who also volunteered there. She was passionate about preserving history, always the first to arrive and the last to leave. We'd sometimes chat about the prison's past, but it was just small talk, you know? Then there's my neighbor, Mr. Jones. Lived next door for years. Nice guy, a bit weird but harmless. Lately, though, he'd been acting strange. I'd see him at odd hours, pacing his yard, mumbling to himself. Heard rumors he got mixed up with drugs, but I never pried. It all changed that one night. The night it all went down, I remember it was unusually cold. I'd just gotten back from the prison, and I saw Mr. Jones on his porch. His eyes were wild, darting around like he was expecting someone to jump out of the shadows. I nodded at him, trying to be neighborly, but he just stared back, unblinking. Gave me the chills, to be honest. A couple of nights later, there was this commotion at the prison. Sirens blaring, police everywhere. I found out Sarah had been found dead in one of the old cells. It hit me like a ton of bricks. She was always so full of life, talking about her plans for the future. To think she wouldn't get to live those dreams. The cops were all over the neighborhood, asking questions. When they got to me, I mentioned Mr. Jones's odd behavior. I didn't want to point fingers, but it was too strange to ignore. The police seemed interested in that detail. They started keeping an eye on him. Days passed, and the tension in the neighborhood was thick. You could feel it. People were scared, whispering theories and rumors. I kept thinking about Sarah, how she didn't deserve this. She was just a girl who loved history, for crying out loud. Then, one evening, the cops came and took Mr. Jones away. They found evidence in his house: bloody clothes and a knife. Turned out, he was high as a kite that night, thought Sarah was some sort of spy or something. Crazy stuff. Drugs really messed up his head. The trial was quick. Mr. Jones didn't even try to defend himself. Just sat there, looking empty. He got life in prison, which seemed fitting, given what happened. But it didn't bring Sarah back. Didn't make the prison any less creepy, either. Now, when I volunteer there, I can't help but feel a chill run down my spine. It's not just the old ghosts that haunt that place anymore. It's the memory of Sarah, her unfulfilled dreams, and the crazy neighbor who took it all away. I guess the moral of the story is to keep an eye on the people around you. You never know when someone's going to snap. And sometimes, the real monsters are living right next door.